Okay, so we're going to look at Scratch today. We're going to take our understanding of shapes that we've looked at in this lesson and last lesson, and our knowledge of algorithms that we've been working on, and we're going to draw some very simple shapes, but using a computer program this time. Computers only do exactly what you tell them, so we have to be very, very precise. So go to Scratch, which you can Google. You can just put in Scratch, or you can go to scratch.mit.edu. You might want to create yourself a username and password using your school email account, and that will remember all your projects. So we're going to do some creation of some very simple graphics. Now you need to open a new project, and when you open a new project you get the generic trademark Scratch Cat. So we don't need him, so let's delete him. Right click and delete. There he goes. And we're going to use a different shape instead, which will make it a bit easier to see. I'll choose from the library there. I'll choose the ball. Okay, so I went to new sprite here and I chose the ball. So let's drag him up there. I'm going to click on costumes now. Okay, I'm just going to drag that into the window so you can see it. Let's go for the purple ball. Okay, there's the purple ball. It's still a bit big. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit just by clicking on the corner, and there we go. We've got our purple ball. We can put him anywhere in the screen. Okay. Okay. So basically, now we need to be able to draw us a triangle. So that's what we're working on at the moment. So the first thing we're going to look at is these two controls here. So the green flag, when you click that, it will run the program, and the red shape here will stop it. So the first thing we need to do is to click on events, and we'll click on this one and drag it across. So we're telling the computer that when the green flag is clicked, something will happen. Okay, nothing's happening right now because we haven't told it anything. So we're going to draw a shape. So let's click on pen, and we need to tell the computer to put the pen down on the canvas. Think of this big white box here, this big white square, as the canvas. Okay, so when I click on the green flag, put the pen down. Alright, so let's think about what else we need to do. So we need to move, turn, move, turn, move, turn. There's three things that we need to do because we're drawing a triangle. So the first step is I'm going to tell it, let's move 100 steps. Okay, hopefully that will draw across 100. It'll draw a line, draw a straight line. So let's try that. All right, there we go. So it's drawn. Let's move the ball back. Okay, there we go. So every time I click run, it does this program here. It moves 100 steps. All right, I'm quite happy with that. What else do I need to do for a triangle? Okay, so remember our work that we've just been looking at. Let's look at the number of degrees we need to change. We need to turn right 120 degrees, which will turn us. Okay, and move. Let's move 100 steps again because we're drawing a triangle that has three sides all the same length. Let's turn 120 again and move 100, and then let's turn finally another 120. That will take us back to where we started. Hopefully there's 120. Alright, so let's put it up there. Okay. Alright, so you can see there is a triangle. So anytime I hit the green flag now, it draws a triangle. Okay, it's good, it works, but we still have a problem. We have all these lines here on the canvas. We need a way of getting rid of those. How can we do that? Well, let's click on events. I'm going to use the space bar to clear that. So when the space bar is pressed, I'm going to clear the canvas. Okay, so let's run that. Okay, there we go. So when I hit the space bar, it clears. Okay, there's some other things I might want to do. Okay, I think I'm going to move the sprite, the ball, back to 0.0, so it's always drawing in a central location. There we go. Okay. Oh, we've got a problem here. When I hit that, okay, it's still drawing the other line. So it looks like I need to, putting the pen down here, looks like I need to pick up the pen again. All right. So let's have a look at that one. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And just to be consistent, I think I'm going to tell the sprite to always point in the same direction. So I'm going to point left just to make sure it's always drawing it in the same way. There we go. So space clears it. There we go. Quite happy with that. Not sure about the thickness of the lines there, a bit difficult to see. So let's click on pen and let's set pen size to 5 instead, and let's insert that up there. Okay. All right, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so pause the video now because we've got some very simple code, and have a think about how you might simplify it. Look for things that are repeated. That's your clue. Look for things that are repeated. So pause the video now. You've got 1 or 2 minutes. See if you can simplify the code. Okay, so hopefully you've had a think about the code. And the way we can simplify the code is to use what's called an iteration or a repeat. Okay, so let's have a look at control. Okay, and I'm going to use this repeat. All right, so I repeat this instruction 3 times there. So let's tell it that, and let's get rid of those 2, 3, 4 blocks of code, and there we go. So let's try that adjustment to the code. There we go. It works. Amazing. Okay, it clears and it works. That works quite well. Let's see if we can do something a little bit more advanced. Okay, so we've got our repeat in here. How about if we turn at the end of drawing the triangle? So let's maybe turn 15 degrees at the end of it. Okay, and let's repeat that. Okay, let's go to control again. Let's repeat that a few times. Okay, so what's going to happen now is it's going to draw the triangle. After drawing the triangle, it's going to turn 15 degrees. Then it's going to draw the triangle again. It's going to turn 15 degrees, draw the triangle, turn 15 degrees, and it's going to do that 22 times. So let's have a look at what kind of effect we can get with that. Oh, that looks quite good. That looks quite pleasing, actually. That looks pretty good. All right, so let's put the pen up there. It's a bit thick now, so let's modify the thickness maybe to 2 or 3. Let's have a look at that, see how that works. That looks a bit better. It's a bit boring with the same color there all the time. So let's click on pen and let's change pen shade by 10. So let's see what the effect is of that. Okay, oh, that's a little bit better. I think that's interesting. What else have we got? We've got set pen color, change pen color. Instead of change pen shade, let's change pen color. Okay, there we go. And let's try that on. Oh, that looks a bit better as well. Okay, so we can get some quite pleasing effects, and we can vary the degrees. So if we change that to 30 degrees and we set that to maybe 11, all right, you'll see that it gets a slightly different effect. Okay, probably needs to go around again for that. Okay, go back to where we start from. That's a bit better. Okay, so have a look at that and see if you can draw the other shapes that we have been looking at.